Hello. Tonight I'd like to offer a biblical tract on suffering in the Christian that are verses from the King James Version of the Bible. So 2 Timothy 3:12, Yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. John 15:20, Remember what I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. Matthew 3:15, Suffer it to be so now, for thus it becometh to fulfill all righteousness. Matthew 16:21, From then on Jesus told his disciples he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders, chief priests, scribes, and then be killed and raised again the third day. Luke 22:15, With desire I have desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. Excuse me. Acts 5:41, And they left the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for his name. Acts 9:16, I will show him how great things he must suffer for my name's sake. Romans 8:17, If it so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. Romans 8:18, I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are nothing compared to the glory which shall be revealed in us. 1 Corinthians 4:12, Being reviled we bless, being persecuted we suffer it. 1 Corinthians 9:12, We suffer all things, lest we should hinder the gospel of Christ. 1 Corinthians 12:26, If one member suffers, all the members suffer with it. 2 Corinthians 1:5, For as the sufferings of Christ abound in us, relief also abounds by Christ. 2 Corinthians 11:20, You'll suffer if a man brings you into bondage, devours you, takes of you, exalts himself, or smites you on the face. Philippians 1:29, For unto you it is given in the behalf of Christ, not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake. Philippians 3:8, For whom I have suffered the loss of all things, that I may win Christ. Philippians 3:10, That I may know him, and the power of his resurrection, and the fellowship of his sufferings, being conformable unto his death. Philippians 4:12, Everywhere and in all things I am instructed, both to abound and to suffer need. 1 Thessalonians 2:12, But even after that we have suffered there before, we are bold in our God to speak unto you the gospel of God with much contention. 1 Thessalonians 3:4, We told you that before we should suffer tribulation. 1 Timothy 4:10, And so we both labor and suffer reproach. 2 Timothy 2:12, If we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he will also deny us. 2 Timothy 3:12, Yea, and all that will live godly in Christ Jesus shall suffer persecution. Hebrews 2:10, For it became him by God, in bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings. Hebrews 2:18, Because he suffered being tempted, he is able to succor them that are tempted. Hebrews 5:12, Though he was a son, yet he learned obedience by the things which he suffered. That should be a big verse right there for you that explains suffering. Why Christians suffer. If Jesus suffered, the rest of us are going to suffer too. Because no servant is greater than his master. James 5:10, Use the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord as for an example of suffering, affliction, and patience. 1 Peter 2:19, it's thankworthy if a man for conscience towards God endure grief, suffering wrongfully. 1 Peter 2:20, when ye do well and suffer for it, be ye take it patiently, this is acceptable with God. It's acceptable with God. 1 Peter 2:21, Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow in his steps. 1 Peter 2:23, when he was reviled, reviled not again. When he suffered, he threatened not, but committed himself to him that judges righteously. 1 Peter 4:1, as Christ hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. 1 Peter 4:13, rejoice as much as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that, when his glory shall be revealed, ye shall be glad with exceeding joy. 1 Peter 4:16, if any man suffer as a Christian, don't be ashamed, let him glorify God on this behalf. 1 Peter 5:10, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you in Christ. I hope these verses open up your minds to the concepts of why God allows sufferings in Christians. A lot of people struggle with this topic, but I think once we do a little deep searching through the Bible, it's explained pretty easy. I hope this topic blesses you and answers some of your questions. If you have them, I'm going to offer some more Bible tracts, hopefully here in the near future. Thanks and have a great day, and may the Lord bless you. Goodbye.